Hello and welcome back to Nerdy and Flirty. My name is Cass and welcome to episode 10. Today's episode is going to be 9 journaling prompts to get you ready for 2024. I love the new year. I love a new month. I love a new week. I just love the start of something new. And I know that that's so cheesy sometimes and people are like, oh, another New Year's resolution, whatever. But honestly, in my opinion, those people are just haters because I think it's always a good time to enjoy something new and start the year right. And to the people that say that it's corny, you're corny, all right? So when it comes to the new year, most people focus on their New Year's resolutions, their New Year's goals, and trust me, I love goal setting more than the next guy. I'm all about it. But before we can accurately set goals for the new year, we have to reflect and become intentional about what we even want in the first place. It's easy to always want to reinvent yourself and become someone new. But if that's you, that's probably coming from a little bit of insecurity in who you actually are. I'm saying that from experience because I too have gone through phases where I've wanted to just completely uproot everything I've ever been and reinvent myself. But I realized that came from not being happy with who I actually was, so I was trying to completely reinvent myself to become someone new. You can simultaneously be happy with who you are and still want to set goals and better yourself. So in today's episode, we're going to go over 9 journaling prompts that will help you be intentional, reflect, and set goals for 2024. So grab your notebooks, let's get into it. First question that I have for you is to make a giant list of every win that you've had in this year. Think about every single thing that you've done this year that you're proud of. It is so easy to just think about all the things we want to change about ourselves, and I think sometimes it's harder to think about the things that you actually have done well. I like to start off with this because it builds confidence and it builds momentum and puts you in a state of self-love. I actually already do this. I keep a list of my small wins throughout the entire year, and it's all the wins and accomplishments I've had. In this list, it doesn't matter how big or how small. Some of these wins are setting a boundary with someone, saying no to someone, standing up for myself, speaking in front of people, doing the podcast, whatever wins I feel like I have, I just create this list and every day I add something to it or I try to add something to it. And it's things from big promotions to little tiny things that just happen in the day-to-day that are a big deal to me. If you're particularly hard on yourself and you're always trying to just improve yourself and you feel like you're not good enough, this is such a good thing to do to remind yourself of what you're actually doing. And it's really nice to look back on because you can see, oh, I forgot that I did this on this day. Oh, I forgot that I accomplished that. I think it's really easy to always be thinking about the next thing and to not give yourselves enough credit when you do accomplish something big. So starting off strong with your accomplishments and what you're proud of is always a good place to start when it comes to goal setting. Number 2 is going to be about the growth that you had this year. What challenges did you go through? What setbacks did you have? What were the most difficult moments you had this year that you worked through? I really like this question because it reminds us what we've been through and what we came out of that got us where we are today. Because truthfully, when we think about some of our biggest accomplishments, they usually come from a place of struggle at first. I know for me, some of the best things that ever happened in my life came from a door closing in my face before that. Someone saying no to me before that opened a door to something I never would have expected. Number 3, who were the people that made me feel the most like myself? Who were the people you were surrounded by this year that made you feel like the most authentic version of yourself? I really like this question because it tells me who I should try to spend even more time with in the upcoming year. We absolutely are the people that we're surrounded by, so make sure you're surrounded by people that make you feel the most authentic version of yourself. And maybe if you're struggling to think of people that you really feel like you can be yourself, that can be a nice goal for you to set for the new year of finding friends that you really feel connected to and that you can be authentic with. So those first 3 questions are going to help you reflect on this past year, but the rest of the questions are going to set us up for the next year. I'm not super big into like the woo-woo manifesting stuff, but I really do like thinking about this higher version of yourself or the best version of yourself because that person is you. You have that in you already. There is the best version of yourself. We all have it. But then there's also the other parts of ourselves that are tempted by laziness or not doing the things that we say we're going to do. But then there is that part of you that is confident, self-assured, independent, does the things they say they're going to do. That's the version that I'm talking about when I say best version of yourself. I'm not really saying this far off person that's so far away that you've never really seen. I'm talking about the person that you are in moments, maybe not all the time. Maybe you want to be that person more, but you are this person. It's not like you're doing things you've never done before. It's just things you might want to do a little bit more of. So number 4 is going to be, what characteristics does the best version of myself have? List out the characteristics that you want to be more of. You have every quality in you. You can be self-assured, you can be independent, you can be confident. And I'm sure you're all of those things at certain times. So think about what the best version of yourself is all the time. What do you want to be more of? Do you want to be more confident? Do you want to listen more? Do you want to speak more? What are things that the best version of yourself does? List all of those qualities out. We can't improve ourselves if we don't know where we even want to go or what we want to be more of. Following up with that, number 5 is, what routines does the best version of myself do? What are the routines that maybe you don't do all the time, but you know that you feel good when you do them? That's the routines I want you to list out. And it could be something simple. One of mine for me is skincare. I really want to get into a skincare routine. The best version of myself does her skincare all the time, every single night, without fail. She wears sunscreen even when it's not sunny out. Like, that's what the best version of myself does. And this current version of myself, she kind of slacks on that. The skincare is not my biggest forte, right? So for me, the best version of myself does her skincare. Like, the current version of myself does skincare now, but the best version of myself does it all the time. But some other routines can be your morning routine, your after work routine, your nighttime routine, your gym routine, your fitness routine, all of those little routines. What are the best versions of yourselves doing? And get really specific, get really granular. Take the time to think this out and think out every little thing, from the tongue scraping to the mouth tape, every single detail. Write this out. I promise it works, it gets you clear, and it inspires you to want to do it starting right now. Number 6 is, what hobbies does the best version of yourself have? What kind of hobbies do you want to spend your time with? Maybe it's reading instead of watching TV. Maybe it's playing recreational sports with your friends. Think about some hobbies that make you feel the most alive and the most taken care of. I know for me, when I'm doing my little hobbies at night, even after work, instead of watching TV, I feel better, I sleep better, my mood is better. Everything kind of just falls together better. And I'm not saying that I do this every single day, but the best version of myself, she does it every single day and she feels great. And that's who I want to be, right? That's what this is kind of helping you get clarity on and get closer to. Number 7 is, what do I need to let go of in the upcoming year? And this one is a little bit harder to think of because the ones that are all dreamy and futuristic, it's easy to think about all these perfect things you want to be. It's easy to dream about being perfect, whatever perfect means in your mind. But it's hard to think about the honest truth of what you need to let go of. What do you need to let go of in this upcoming year that's holding you back? What held you back this year? Get really honest with yourself, even if it's hard to think, and write down the things that you really need to let go of in the upcoming year. Maybe it's your self-doubt. Maybe it's your judgment. Maybe it's your criticism for other people. Maybe it's your situationship that you can't let go of. Think about things that hold you back, that you know hold you back, because at the end of the day, we all kind of know the things that we do, even if we don't want to admit it. So write it down. Write down what you want to let go of in the upcoming year. Number 8 kind of pulls all of this together. It's my ideal life. I did this years ago and I kind of just update it as my goals and my lifestyle changes. But in this, you write down a very, very detailed description of your ideal day. And this one is not like the other questions where in the upcoming year, what do you want to be? This one is very future based. Like, this one is who you want to be in 5 years, 10 years, somewhere a little bit further away, but it's your ideal day. And when you write this out, you need to be so specific about every little thing from start to finish in your day. For example, I start mine with, I wake up with the sunrise, I make my bed, and brew my coffee. I go outside to see a beautiful sunrise that's extremely colorful with a few dark clouds that are my favorite. The breeze is gentle, but it's refreshing as I'm sipping my hot coffee with almond milk. I am well rested and I'm excited for the day that awaits. I go on and on and on. I talk about what I'm thankful for, what I'm doing, where I'm going, what I'm listening to, how I feel, how I treat my body, how I treat others around me, what I'm reading. I go into full detail about every single thing. And maybe this one, it seems a little bit futuristic, manifesty, but it's really just getting you into a place of thinking that your life is like this. I don't know what it does psychologically, but just writing like this makes me feel like I can achieve some of these things, if not all of these things, every day. Writing this out makes me almost glamorize or romanticize my mornings where I think, oh, I'm well rested. I'm excited for the day. I'm excited to get ready. I'm excited for the creative pursuits I have. For me, writing this out, it helps me find it in my everyday, and listening to me say this, it probably sounds like, okay, you're just living in dreamland, but it really is powerful. And if you try it, I hope that you see the same effects that it's had for me, because it just makes me feel, it just makes me feel good. It makes me feel excited. It makes me feel inspired. And then number 9, the last one, write a letter to yourself from the end of this year, reflecting on the year that's coming up. So since we're going into 2024, you're going to write the letter as if it's December 31st, 2024, meaning next year, and you're going to reflect on this upcoming year as if it already happened. You're going to tell yourself everything that happened, what you accomplished, how you felt, what your social circle was like. Go through every dimension of wellness. Talk about your physical health. Talk about your emotional health, your social health, your intellectual health. Literally go through every single detailed part of your life, of the year, and tell yourself how it went. This prompt was like really popular at the end of last year on TikTok or something, and I really think it's a powerful one because it helps remind you that you're in control of how your year can go, and you can have a say in how your story unfolds. It's very easy to just go day by day and not think about how your day is going to go, but when you think about it from the future, don't you want that story you're telling to be positive? Don't you want to say, I traveled to this place and I did this and I did that, and then during this year you can actually make all of those things happen. I am such a sucker for a good journaling prompt. I love going through and thinking about things and reflecting and writing it all down. It takes everything that's in my head and just gets it visible for me so that I can actually achieve the goals that I have in my head. These are all the journaling prompts that I've done in the past, that I'm going to do again, that I will continue to do because I really enjoy them. It's so fun for me. And if this isn't for you, don't feel pressured to do it, but it is really fun to reflect and to set goals and to think about your life in the future. This episode was a shorter one, but it's straight to the point. I hope you try these out. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much for listening. If you like what you're hearing, give me 5 stars. Go on Instagram, follow the podcast at Nerdy and Flirty Pod, and let me know what you think. I hope you have a great day. I will talk to you next week. It's the last episode of the year. Woohoo! I hope you have a great day. Bye.